My name is Brian Unthank. I'm from north east Kent, a little town called Erith.
And how did you get in the military?
I just joined up at the age of 18, January 27th, 1956. I went to a place called West Kirby in Liverpool to do my boot camp, and then I went across to Halton in Buckinghamshire to do my cook's training. From there I was posted to a little radar or radio testing station at Daventry for about 9 months, and then in August 1957 I got posted to a place called Christmas Island.
So how long have you been in the military before you went to Christmas Island?
2 years.
And what did they tell you?
Nothing.
What were you trained for?
Trained for? I was a cook.
So did you know anything about atomic bombs? Did you know about Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
I heard about it because it was part of the Second World War.
And when was the first time you heard that you were going to be participating in a nuclear test?
When I arrived on Christmas Island.
And what did you think?
Ooh. There's not a lot else you can say. You didn't know what was going to go on. You're basically there as a cook to feed a large quantity of men with a larger team, of course, because I was only a junior, an LAC, leading aircraftsman, as a cook.
And what happened? All right, so you really had no emotional, you had no
knowledge. It was just, I was a young boy, I was 19 years old. What more can you say, really?
Look into the camera. So what did, when the first one went off, what did you think? And just tell me about it.
It frightened the seven bells out of me. The bang came because you see this big black line, which is the explosion, not knowing that. And then it hits you with a tremendous burning heat. And I threw my hands up in fear. Can't say that I knew I did that. It was just an automatic reaction. And I caught a bloke who's beside me under the chin, and I flattened him. He was gone, he was unconscious. And I'm not a fighting man, but that frightened me when I can knock him out without knowing about it. And you see all that, what's going on down the range. Okay, back to work. Go back to work in the junior ranks mess. Where's all the sandwiches gone? Where's all the tea gone? The tea urns are shaped like an egg timer. They're supposed to be stainless steel, 5-gallon drums. Where's it gone? Nobody knew, so we had to go all the way through the task of making food again for all these personnel who were hungry.
Wow.
That was my day.
So you made all this stuff, you went out on the beach. Where were you in
I wasn't on the beach.
Where were you?
I was in the middle of a field, and I was told, go and sit under that coconut palm. And I was told how to sit. We've explained it on others, but it was a case of sit down, draw your knees up, clench your fists into your eyes like that.
Did you see your bones through your...
Everything is like other people have described. It was a strange, weird sensation. Oh look, if I could say mummy and daddy, I could see the inside of my hands. They would never believe me. Because I try to explain to people that you're sitting under coconut palm in short sleeves and a pair of shorts and a pair of socks. The tannoy is saying the aircraft is approaching the DZ, the dropping zone. The pilot says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bomb gone, and there is a white flash of light. And if you live to be 1,000,000 years old, you would never ever be able to describe the intensity of the white light. The next order is get up, go to the centre of the field for safety because of the palm trees, maybe coconuts and all that sort of thing.
Did people talk about it after the test?
There was a few expletives about what the hell was that, you know. People walking around dazed in amazement because, as I say, you've got this big bang and you're looking at this ball of flame and this flume going up. What the hell have I just seen? Okay, back to it.
So how many did you see?
3. That was the first one. The second one, I was detached to the Navy station, which is now I understood to be HMS London. We were in a Nissan hut. We were a cook. I had my 20th birthday down at Port London because it's the 16th of January. And a couple of days later, we were told to take cover within this Nissan hut. And again, the tan I was saying, plane arriving at DZ, bomb gone. And then we were told it was all clear. So the senior person within the Nissan hut where I was opened the door and there was an optical illusion because we had green rain coming down, but we had green rain going up at the same time. I don't know what it is, a convex or something. That was the look that we were seeing, and we were all saying lots of expletive words. I won't say it on camera because it's not my type of thing.
You can say whatever you like.
No, it's all to do with fornicating.
So
and
basically you saw 3 bombs and you just went on with your life, and then how long were you in the military after that before you became a civilian, or were you a lifer?
Oh, I was in the military for right up until 1987.
So you were a professional soldier?
Yes, I was. After I left Christmas, I was posted to an RAF base called Northolt in West London. I stayed a cook all my career.
Have you ever had any physical problems that you?
Oh yes.
When did you have your first problem?
When within 3 months of arriving back in UK at RAF Northolt, I was at work and I got a little tickle on the side of my nose, so as other people, you know, you do it yourself, you just scratch your nose like that. And within minutes, I had blood trickling down, as if I was Dracula. And I opened my mouth and all I could see was blood. So I rushed over to the medical centre and they didn't know what to do. They gave me they went running around the kitchen looking for ice cubes, made me sit there, suck ice cubes to try to get this blood to stop. And it couldn't stop. I was swallowing loads of blood and I was starting to feel sick because you do. And they rushed me to hospital. And then I had an inspection and they found that my gums had receded right up to under my nose, and all you could see was the roots of all my teeth up and down, and had to go for an immediate operation to stop all this bleeding. And after the operation, when I came around, they told me that they had to take all of my teeth out, top and bottom, but they also had to take a lot more of the lower jawbone out because the damage had gone as far down as they could take.
How old were you?
20.
Did you think, look into the camera, did you think anything about it?
Well, no, what was to think about? Oh dear, I'm going to have false teeth. Or something like that, you know. 2 weeks later, when after the operation, my face swelled right the way up and I had little tiny slits for eyes. And they battled with me, they gave me all the medication I could. And within 2 weeks, the face settled down. My face came back to life again. They'd made me a set of false teeth. And they said, here, try these in. I didn't know they'd taken any measurements or anything like that because I was out of it. And they said, oh, here's your lunch, a nice steak salad lunch. Thank you very much.
So how many teeth did you lose? All of them?
Absolutely every single one.
At 20?
At 20 years old.
Okay, what was the next problem that you might have had?
Well, I've had so many different things, minor, to me, minor things. I've had my left ulnar nerve transposed. Instead of it running down that way, it now runs over my arm and down into the hands there. And Marion was there when we hadn't been married then. And she came to the hospital to see me, and I was something like this, you know, waiting for all that to get better. I've had my carpal tunnels done, I've had my cataracts done, and after we got married and had our first 2 children, I started getting apparently skin cancers, and that's what that white spot there is, my first one. And from there, I've now had 84 skin cancers removed. Not all of them malignant, 1 or 2 of them were non-malignant, and I'm waiting for another 2 looked at next Friday, the 25th of February.
So when did you start thinking that maybe all these old strange illnesses that you were having were service related from participating in the...
When I went to St Thomas's Hospital in London, because I was having a lot of troubles with cancers on my nose, but I had a very large one on my leg as well. And the doctors asked where I've been, because they know I was an ex-serviceman. And I said I was on Christmas Island, and they went, that is where you started getting all these problems.
They told you that at the hospital?
Yes, they believe that is the ground basic problem of my life. And they've told, not those, but we've heard through the grapevine that the scientists are saying that it's going to be 500 years before it washes out of my bloodline. All my children and children and children and grandchildren, blah, blah, blah.
Did your children have any problems?
Yes, I have been married twice. My first wife, we'd been married about a year, and she started having miscarriages, and they were quite painful, but all miscarriages are painful anyway. She had 13 miscarriages before she was able to start holding on, if that's a good way of saying it, to the children to full birth. My first child, by my first wife, found out that she had a double womb sort of stuck to each other, hidden behind each other in the stomach. And they said, oh, that's normal. My third son of my first wife, he had a double large hole in his heart as a baby, so they had to repair those. The first son of my first marriage, his third son, it's a bit convoluted, I'm sorry. He had a very rare melanoma on the right forehead at 18 months old, I think. Allow me to say that. Memory doesn't work well. And my daughter-in-law kept taking him back to the hospital, and I said, look, you're just being a neurotic mother. He's fine, go away. And then she demanded that they take a punch biopsy. And they found out that it was a very rare melanoma, and if it wasn't removed ASAP, he could land up dead. Which they did. But now he's on the permanent register of watchfulness because of me, basically. My first wife died through different things, mainly very acute emphysema. Then I married Marion, my second wife, in 1978. We had 2 children, a boy and a girl. Alan was born in 1980, and it was found that he's got eye problems called Duane syndrome, where his eyes are back to front basically, and they had to operate to try to get them back into straight line vision. And he's now, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but he's got vision like that and like that, which is, and one eye has got very thick lenses to try to bring him an equal correctness. In his late teens, he tried to join the Royal Air Force because he knew what he loves aeroplanes, and he wanted to be an aero engineer. And he went all the way through the exams, A1, every single one. He was right at the very top. Wonderful, you're the person that we need. Went to the medical, we can't use you because your eyes are bad. Because he couldn't fire a gun. He can't see out this way to fire the gun like that, and they don't have any left-handed guns, so he can't join the Air Force. Our daughter, who's proved afterwards to have a skeletal, I'll explain it as being skeletal problems. She's got serious problems in her back, floating kneecaps, their terminology, not mine, and quite bad stomach problems. And she can have that for the rest of her life. And that is my life.
So when did you figure out that it was related to being exposed to ionizing radiation?
Well, the doctors, one
told you at the hospital?
at St Thomas's Hospital, and when I changed, I was sent to a different hospital for a man called Dr. Perrett. He is my consultant dermatologist, and once he learned of my service life, he immediately said, there is the problem.
What did you think?
Thank you for letting me know and confirming that other doctors had suggested, not as strongly as he had put it, that it was Christmas Island where all my personal physical problems stem from. I've had very large lumps taken out my leg. I've got a scar like that. I've had all over my head, body, my groin, my arms. 84 so far and counting. I just want the government to turn around and say, sorry son, we've done it wrong. It's not just this government, it's been from day one right the way back in 1950, early 1950s. They've all wiped the floor with us. We were just fodder, cannon fodder. And if they were to stand up and say, look, we've done it wrong. Even the BBC, when we're marching down Whitehall to the Cenotaph, we're coming from this direction, the cameras are there watching everybody, we come into view, the cameras spin all the way around, we march past underneath the cameras, and the cameras come back round up there. And I think that is absolutely appalling that they should dishonour us in such a small way. It's a big way really, because everybody knows that we're on parade, but we're totally blanked out. We don't exist. We're not allowed to be talked about. The girls are walking up and down the columns, interviewing personnel. They walk right past us. I was asked, will you talk to the lady on camera? I'd be happy to talk to the lady on camera. I'll talk to anybody about the nuclear test veterans. My wife and I got stopped in the car park in Erith. A lady had heard that, and had been pointed out that I'd had these skin cancers, and maybe I could tell her what's going to go on. And she showed me it was on her nose. And I said, well, all these things are going to happen in this order. Nothing to worry about, no hurt. You look slightly disfigured for a couple of days, dependent on how quick she herself repaired, her body repaired her. We saw her 2 or 3 months later, and she can run. I know you. You're the man who told me what to do. Look at my face. Yes, hello, it's a very nice, pretty face. What am I looking at? She said, you can't see nothing, can you? I said, what am I looking at? She says, my nose. You told me about my nose, and it went exactly how you said it was going to happen. And look, you can't see nothing. And she was absolutely over the moon. She was so happy. All her fears had been wiped out in that one little conversation that she'd had with me. And I will sit and talk to anybody if I can allay their fears on what the procedure's going to be for removal of these pain in the butts. I'll do it. When I had my first one, it was in Dartford Hospital in Kent. There was an 83-year-old lady and a spinster, and she was absolutely petrified to the point of she was shaking with fear. She just raised her blouse a little bit, and from her belly button all the way round the waist, right the way round until it joined up the other side. She thought she'd picked up a venereal disease because people weren't that clean in public toilets in the old days. And they said, no, be safe, we will get rid of it. It is just a rodent ulcer. And with this one here, for me, they lasered it, scraped it, lasered it, sealed it, and put a plaster on and sent me home.
So you know that, look in the camera, so you know your opinion is, and I want you to say it, that all of your problems, the cancers, miscarriage and things, are because you were ill.
Yes, I really do strongly believe that.
Say it.
I believe that all of my personal problems and my family's problems, my actual bloodline, are down to my period of time and the 3 bombs that I witnessed on Christmas Island. I'm certain of it. I've been told by medics, and they confirmed it very strongly.
And you want to be recognized as an atomic veteran, yes?
Yes, I do. Yes, not just for me. I want to be seen, to be recognized, acknowledged, and presented, even if they just post it to me, a medal to say, here you are, son, this is us saying, thank you for your time, here's a medal to show that you were there on Christmas Island for those bombs.
And since this is going to be shown in Vienna to the world, what would you say to people? Because you know you guys are a really small group. Very few people know about you. When everybody should. This should be common knowledge. It should be taught in schools, all this sort of stuff. What would you say to the world? What do you want to say?
Stop it. Stop using nuclear weapons. They're no good. They're dirty. They blight people's lives forever in so many, many different ways. Disformed bodies of babies as are being delivered in maternity hospitals, destroying people's lives mentally and physically, and it is for their permanent, eternal life, next 500 years or more. Stop it now.
That's excellent. I want you to say your name, that you're a British Atomic veteran and you're not going to stop.
My name is Brian Unthank. I'm 84 years old. I'm a happy man. I'm a member of the British Nuclear Test Veterans Association, and I just want the whole world to do their best to stop this nuclear testing. Give everybody a chance. Thank you.